Thank you, Reverend Susan. It will be a little more than a minute. Good morning again. For those of you who don't know me, both of you, my name is Mark Young. My wife Sherry and I have been members here at St. Stephen's since 1991, and I've been involved in a few church activities over the years. I did an inventory the other day and found out I've been on the Bishop's Committee or Vestry all but 4 of my 20 years here. I've been a warden 5 times, and I've chaired 9 stewardship campaigns. I've been an outreach chair a couple of times, a diocesan convention delegate, and a deanery representative. And I did a bunch of legal work for the church back in 96, 97, 98. We had a structural engineering malpractice problem. One of the greatest times I've had here was emceeing last June's Roast the Rector event. And I'm currently chairing the search committee looking for a new rector. So you could say that I've worn many, many hats here at St. Stephen's. Well, one of my favorites was from the stewardship campaigns that we ran under the motif of the Pony Express. Now, for those of you who recall this, say it with me, yeehaw! But seriously, folks, this is the last ministry minute of our stewardship campaign. As Reverend Susan mentioned, it's also the last Sunday of the church year, the Feast of Christ the King. And next Sunday is the first Sunday of Advent, the start of the church year. So it's a great time to look back and look forward. Over the last 4 weeks, we've heard from some of the brightest lights of St. Stephen's about their views of stewardship. John Beck taught us the value of giving from the heart, and he made quite an impression and set an absolutely horrible precedent by giving away a crisp new dollar bill to everyone in attendance, and then showing how much it means to tear it up in front of us. Ron Mongeau and Anna Maria Giron, newlyweds here at St. Stephen's, gave us their perspective as new members. And I'm very proud of the fact that when they came here, I was the first one they talked to, and they still stayed. 2 weeks ago, Marv and Miriam Bardo told us of their spiritual journeys as a Catholic and a Lutheran, and how they found a happy via media home here. I missed that week because our entire family was in Alexandria, Virginia for my nephew Ryan's wedding. Ryan was raised Lutheran, and his wife Kimberly is Catholic. So naturally, I plugged the Episcopal Church to them using the Ardagh precedent. And last week, Ken and Mary Jo Higginbotham explained why they pledged. They have been at St. Stephen's quite as long as the Ardaghs, but they are stalwart members. Ken is with me on the search committee. Mary Jo works with the St. Stephen's bookstore and has spearheaded the alternative gift fair. They, like all these other people, truly lead by example. They're examples of what stewardship really means. Stewardship is the joyful giving of time, talent, and treasure to the fulfillment of the message and mission of Jesus Christ. Stewardship is what you do beyond saying you believe and participating in worship services in church. It is service, it is, dare I say, evangelism. It includes generous financial support, striving to tithe. Preaching is talking the talk. Stewardship is walking the walk. St. Stephen's has a rich history of inspiring stewardship stories. Before my time here, shortly after Reverend Lynn arrived, it was St. Stephen's that started the Santa Clarita Valley Food Pantry. It started on a shoestring, right here, right over there. It helped a few dozen folks. Nowadays, it's an independent nonprofit with 4 full-time employees, supported by many, many faith communities. It distributes over 3,000 pounds, that's 1.5 tons of food a week. There's over 5,500 people who are serviced by the food pantry. In 1993, a group calling itself the Shelter Committee began meeting right here at St. Stephen's, and I was fortunate enough to be involved at that time. In 1996, we incorporated. In 1997, the threat of El Nino winter disaster and the impassioned pleas of many people, including St. Stephen's own Karen Fensel, convinced the city council here that we needed to open a shelter in the winter months for our own people. We opened the shelter that winter in the leaky old Merle Norman factory, which now is where the sports complex, our Gleaming Sports Complex, now sits. Us rank amateur volunteers served about 10 or 12 people a night. Our budget was $15,000. Over the years, the shelter has grown. It's drawn support from many, many other churches, temples, synagogues, stakes, mosques throughout the Santa Clarita Valley, as well as civic-minded groups from the Boy and Girl Scouts, the Rotary Club, the Kiwanis. On December 1st, 11 days from now, we'll open up the Santa Clarita Valley Letter Shelter for the 15th straight season. It's now a 54-bed facility, up from 40 beds just 2 years ago. We have professional, trained case managers which are the key to success. The statistic that the shelter is proudest of is that of the people who participate in case management, over 50% find either a job or a home or both during the shelter season. We have big plans for the shelter to go year-round in the next 2 years, and see David Potter after church to buy your tickets to the Humor Helps event next week. St. Stephen's has also given birth to several other significant outreach programs. Project Share the Grace is here, the 1,000 t-shirts, the 100 books. It's dived right in with other programs that are going elsewhere come here, including Family Promise, the Angel Tree, the Wildlife Art Project, the Angel Interfaith Network, our blood drives, the AIDS ones, and on and on and on and on. In short, maybe you can tell, I'm proud of this place. We've never ever been the biggest congregation in town, far from it. But I challenge anyone, to find any congregation that has had more visible, positive social impacts than St. Stephen's. I'm proud of this not so much for what our clergy has so eloquently said here over the years, although that inspiration, spiritual refreshment, and occasional mid-course correction is absolutely vital. But what I'm really proud is of what we do when we leave this place. Now, all this work in the community is possible only because we have a solid financial foundation here at St. Stephen's, our church home. This is the base from which all of these outreach projects have launched. When we install a new rector, I'm confident that he or she will inspire us to new projects that we haven't even dreamed of yet. This church, the larger church, the Protestant Episcopal Church in the United States of America, in our own particular congregation, formerly family-sized mission, now program-sized parish, St. Stephen's, neither one's going to let us rest on our laurels or grow complacent. I'd like everybody to look to the back wall. Under Christ crucified, we see, go ye into all the world. The work we're called to do in the world is right out there in His voice. Now, our foundation is here. Your pledges are critical, vital, essential. Not only to keep the lights on and meet the payroll, those are the things that every household and every business in town has to do. But there's a uniquely religious reason to give. To further the mission of this church, specifically to live up to the vision statement of St. Stephen's, which is to be Christ for each other and for the world. Every pledge is important. If you've never pledged before, it's okay to start small. The important thing is to be a participant, a true doer of the word and not a hearer only. Be involved, take ownership, get in the game. We all have a vested interest in this place because it makes us all better Christians. Times are hard, the economy's in a bad place. But we have so much compared to so many of our brothers and sisters and our neighbors. Step out in faith. If you don't have a pledge, please make one. Cards are available out of the church. If you have a pledge, renew it, and yea, dare I say, increase it by as much as you can. No one will know what your pledge is except God, Marilyn Pisa, and the IRS. And except for Marilyn talking to God, none of them talk to each other. Stewardship campaigns and ministry minutes come to an end, but the mission of the church goes on. Please, pledge from the heart and the soul. Praise to you, Lord.